What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to week 10 of the Pokemon Speedruns Draft League. This is going to be a very, very brief team builder for my matchup against CHG Jake and the Razorblades. I'm going to do it as quickly as possible because I just have not had as much time this week and I'm relatively busy today, and my match is in like 2 or 3 hours. So, quickly going to recap. Managed to win last week in a very, 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 very close matchup. And we are still tied for the lead with Gino, but Gino is playing against Roush this week. So there's a chance that if I manage to win and he loses, that we could take sole possession of first place. So that's going to be the goal this week. So looking at the teams, I'm just going to go as quickly as possible. On the far right, I've made the layout a little different this week just for times and convenience sake. On the far right, we have the team that I think he might bring, although to be fair, I think he could bring almost anybody that he has except probably Executor. I think there's a few Pokemon he's like very, very likely to bring, but it's like actually a toss-up, so like it's not super clear who he's going to bring on his team. The Mons I'm almost positive he's going to bring are Azumarill and Donphan, simply because I think that they're both like they're gonna have like a specific niche that they're gonna be doing. So, quickly just blitzing through his team options. Victini can be, it's one of the base 100 across the boards, like Celebi, Mew, Jirachi, the mythical Pokemon. Very, 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 very high base physical attack move in V-Create and Fire Stab. It's also Psychic. It can run Choice Band, it can be run Special, it can be run with a Trick Room setup, it can be run Life Orb, it can be run Scarf, bunch of options there. Metagross is either going to be a Choice Band physical attacker or a defensive Stealth Rock Pokemon. It's a Steel Psychic, gets a lot of moves like Zen Headbutt, Meteor Mash, Earthquake, Stealth Rocks, things of that nature. Next up we have Chandelure, often run with either Scarf or like a Sub-Calm mindset. Fire Ghost can be run with Air Balloon as well, which he very well may do. Special attacker gets access to Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, fire moves like Fire Blast and Flamethrower, things of that nature. Next up is Azumarill. Azumarill is has huge power, so it doubles its base attack, or doubles its attack. I don't even think it's base attack. It has fire or fairy water, so it's got very good coverage options with Play Rough and water. I guess it would be running Liquidation, Aqua Jet, knockoff, things of that nature. It also can be run Belly Drum, which is very scary. I have a couple Pokemon on my team that can hopefully beat that set. Choice Band is also an option, or a Perish Trapper. Jellicent is a defensive wall mostly. It usually is physically bulky. Has Water Absorb, and it is a Water Ghost type. And has Will-O-Wisp, Hex, a bunch of those kind of ghost defensive moves. Donphan is a physically bulky wall. It's also a Rock Setter and a Rapid Spinner. It also gets access to Priority Ice Shard for coverage as well as priority. We have Rhyperior is a very, very good wall breaker if it isn't outsped. It has, 4x weaknesses to grass and water, which make it a little bit of a liability, but it gets Mega Horn, gets Earthquake, gets rock moves, so it's got good options if it can get in. Executor doesn't do anything. Mega Absol is a Swords Dance abuser, gets access to Sucker Punch and knock off and things like that, so it's got, and I think superpower as well. Whimsicott is sort of a support Pokemon. Gets access to Trick Room. He does have a few Trick Room options on his team. Chandelure gets Trick Room as well, and Jellicent gets Trick Room as well. And it pairs very nicely with his next Pokemon, Excavalier, which is sort of like a incredibly slow Scizor. Gets access to Mega Horn and Iron Head and Poison Jab and a few other moves. Very good physical attacker, Steel Bug. Whimsicott also gets Prankster, which means that all of its status moves get priority. And it's often, I think it's Defog and a few other things, Tailwind. So our team, most important Pokemon was first, which was Seismitoad. you just don't want to get swept by a Belly Drum Azumarill. This is a pretty good failsafe to that. I speed creep Azumarill by a decent amount. And I actually think I have more speed than I need for Azumarill, and I can't remember what it was for. I don't think it was for Chandelure, unless it was like slow Chandelures, which I don't think you can run. And maybe it was for Rhyperior or Donphan, I can't honestly remember. But I have a lot of speed for that. I'm a little bit more offensive with Hydro Pump, Earth Power, Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave is for Azumarill, which does about like, I want to say like 60 to 71% or something like that. Most importantly, it just prevents me from losing a Belly Drum, because if he does go for the Belly Drum, or he already has a Belly Drum up, I'm not prone to getting Aqua Jetted when I switch in, so I'm not going to get super punished if he already has the Belly Drum up, because it has Water Absorb. Next up is Neoligo. If you notice, I have Stealth Rocks on both Neoligo and Seismitoad this week, and that's because Stealth Rock's very good. He's got Chandelure and Victini and Focus Sash on Whimsicott, oftentimes. And Stealth Rock really helps me get certain ranges, so it was pretty important to have this week, so I went with it instead of Toxic Spikes. Even though I think Toxic Spikes is decent against this team. Coverage moves, Power Gem for the 2 fire Pokemon, as well as, I think just mostly the 2 fire Pokemon. Sludge Wave is for Azumarill, it's for the grass Pokemon like Whimsicott, and if for some reason he brings it, Exeggutor. And then, as well as, yeah, I think I said Azumarill already, and then Grass Knot covers Donphan and Rhyperior. I don't have anything for Metagross, which is like just part of the thing, but ideally I'll be able to force a switch out and then Stealth Rock up on the switch in, and at least gain some sort of equity that way. The defense EVs was, I think, so I could tank. Let's say it was what's that move that I was trying to tank with that? It was something. It was a weak physical move. It was either Sucker Punch, or it was like V-Create, but I feel like I wouldn't take a lot. No, I think it was V-Create. I think I get 3-hit KO'd by V-Create, which was nice. Which means I can switch in and then not have to worry about it if it's like Scarf or something. Next up, I have Charizard. This set was originally Swords Dance, because I think Dragon's Dance was like kind of didn't do anything. And then it was originally Swords Dance, so I could like break through something Donphan maybe. And then I just was like, I have nothing for Jellicent, I'm just gonna put Toxic on this, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna be using Jellicent as his like primary switch in. And I think it was going to just be easier on me to just Toxic it and be over with it. It's hard. That could have still been Swords Dance, because I think it has Scald and Hex sometimes, so it very well could beat me if I tried to Swords Dance in his face. Toxic was a little weird to do that with. Celebi's a little more offensive this week. This is my sort of like revenge kill option against Azumarill. If for some reason I get dunked on and it gets a Belly Dance up for free, I can come in and just Leaf Storm in the face. And I take a decent chunk, but not even half, I don't think, from like +6 Aqua Jet or anything like that. Hidden Power Fires for Escavalier, although obviously I can't really switch in on Escavalier. If I can revenge kill it from like half health or whatever, that will help. Leaf Storm was needed for power on Donphan and Rhyperior. Or maybe it was Jellicent. It was Jellicent. I needed Leaf Storm to kill Jellicent, otherwise I would use Energy Ball for not getting special drops. And Shadow Ball helps against Victini, it helps against Metagross, it helps against Chandelure, it helps against Jellicent, although it's worse against Jellicent than Leaf Storm is. And against Exeggutor. So that was why we had Shadow Ball on there instead of, like, all my other coverage moves did nothing. This is a bit of a weird set, because it's kind of just like a revenge killer, but it's also just like Life Orb, 3 attacks, recover on Celebi, which is not the greatest set, because it doesn't have like, Leaf Storm does have good base power, so like that's an advantage. But next up is Hoopa. This Hoopa set's coverage is like absolutely insane against his team. Like, I'm pretty sure this hits everything, almost everything on his team super effectively. It's like really, really close if it isn't. So yeah, it's literally exactly Absol, and I think exactly Absol that I don't hit super effectively with this set. Yep, exactly Absol. Everything else I hit super effectively, which is nuts. So, and Absol is not like particularly bulky, so if it switches in, it's going to take a lot of damage. This set, like Oko's Victini, think it Oko's Metagross, if I recall correctly, or at least like offensive Metagross, it definitely Oko's. It Oko's Chandelure, it Oko's Zoomerl if I hit my stupid Gunk Shot. It Oko's... Pretty sure Oko's Jellicent. Oko's Rhyperior. I think it Oko's Donphan, or at least it does like a... I think that was the extra special attack EVs, was so I get the Oko on Donphan. Oko's... Yeah, just literally everyone else at Oko's. So this thing kills everything. Probably going to lead on it, like very good chance I lead on it and just destroy whatever's in front of me. I think if he leads on Whimsicott, I'm probably gonna Fire Punch because I'm assuming he's Sash. But I think this is I'm just gonna lead it and just punch something in the face really hard. Lastly, I have Landorus. Landorus is there as sort of like a second, like a Metagross check, even though Intimidate doesn't do anything. It also is a decent Bikini check. Decent, like it can. He has a lot of physical attackers. Like I can come in and physical, intimidate Escavalier, intimidate Absol, intimidate Rhyperior, intimidate Donphan. Like this comes in on a decent amount. Groundium Z is just because I just wanted something that like it did more damage than anything else to Jellicent. I want to say, yeah, it was Jellicent. And then knockoff, so I can just, he has a lot of dark weaknesses. Knockoff spam's pretty good. U-turn to U-turn out. Defog because I didn't need a third Stealth Rocker. I could have put Stealth Rock here and then put Poison Toxic Spikes, but I figured it was just better to have Defog in case something on my side goes awry. My team's pretty good against Stealth Rock, besides Charizard, obviously. I think everything is neutral or resists Stealth Rock besides Charizard. But yeah, that's the team. Fast team builder. Hopefully does do well this week. A little bit less prep time than I wanted, but that was just kind of how scheduling worked out. So hopefully we make this happen. And yeah, I'd love to be able to take possession of first place. So peace out, deuces.